But I honest to God had to call Cap on this bullshit ass interview that Kendra G did with on Paul Pierce's podcast. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into it right now. Let's get it.
Only people that love you for you is God, dogs, and your mama. Like that's just real talk. Before I go any further, let me ask you this question: How do you respect a woman that will be okay with you cheating?
Well, it's gonna be a breakup and a get back.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want to make a woman struggle for love, basically.
You gotta treat every guy like he's ugly. Like don't bend rules. Like keep your standards if you want to get married. Law of attraction. If I was
I'm not even a man into this thing, and I gotta pause it. Why the hell are women saying that shit? You got to treat every man like he's ugly. Someone, you don't get the fuck out here with that goofy shit.
to die tomorrow, I would tell everybody learn law of attraction. Everybody in your life is who you reflect. So if there is a woman who is just thirsty, that's what you desire.
So if I'm just pushing my cart in the grocery store and some little rat come up to me, that's what I am?
Right.
Like, come on, dog.
So which one is the truth? Is truth after dark?
We don't know,
Which one is the truth?
This is to taking over the game. All right, everybody. Welcome to Truth After Dark.
Do you think that men or women are more toxic?
I chewed on this. Now my hair is growing back thicker and fuller. My balding dad looks like he's growing a forehead 2.0. And I'm starting to worry my pics on social look like before photos. I seriously thought I was cooked. Then my boys showed me this chew through Hims. There are no pills to swallow. I just chew on this once a day. I expected it to be...
Do you think that men or women are more toxic? Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of The Truth After Dark. I am your host, Azar Faraday.
Paul Pierce.
We got Paul. And tonight, we have a very special guest. We are joined by a true media powerhouse with over 20 years of experience. She's interviewed icons like Beyonce, Halle Berry, and Michelle Obama. She's a media personality, author, and philanthropist. Please welcome the incredible Kendra.
Philanthropist?
I love you. Gotta do my intro every.
Wait a minute, philanthropist? Bitch, where? I haven't seen her do no damn philanthropy. The fuck?
That girl. Oh my God. Can I say I walked in so much good energy? You look good. She's sitting down, but you got to see this body. You got to start doing the show standing up. Because they gotta appreciate how good you look. The body is snatched. Shout out to Paul. He's so nice so far. I can't even believe it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We're honored to have you on the show. You truly are incredible. Like, I love your work. We're going to start out very quickly because we have some viral clips right now, and I just want to get your thoughts on
Let's do it.
just to start it
Yes.
out. So right now, Paul is going viral because he said, and I quote, that men need to cheat on their women to find out if they really love them.
They need to cheat, like as in, because cheat means deceive, right? So you need to go outside. Like there's open relationship where your girl is very much aware you're gonna have other women, right?
Yeah.
But why cheat? Why not just say right now we're still dating, but I'm gonna explore other women? That to me sounds like manipulation.
It is sound like manipulation, to be honest, but like how, like, say a man in my position, say like, I meet a girl, I know her, she know who I am, she understand my background and all of this. How do I find out if she truly loves me for me?
But how do you find out if you truly love her by cheating on her? What is that?
You know
What?
what? That was the only thing I could come up with. And I know there's more things, but cheating, people, it's such a broad a thin line into cheating too, because people
Right.
automatically think sex. No,
Right.
it don't have to be a sexual encounter. Like
Bye, troll.
I don't know if it'll be intentional, but an unintentional, like, damn, maybe.
But let me give you some real talk. Only people that love you for you is God, dogs, and your mama. Like, that's just real talk. You became who you are. Everyone that's attached to you, like, that's your essence. You know. So you almost have
troll.
to accept that to a certain degree. You're not really gonna know who's there for you unless you got into a position where you're really down and out. Let's say you lose it all, and then you have no money, no fame. That's the only way you're gonna know if a person's really about you. But at the same time, I mean, you are who you are. Like,
Right.
everybody's working to attract, like, girls go to the gym to look cute because they want the best of the best.
Yeah.
So
Bye,
it's
troll.
almost like you're never gonna know that. Just God, dogs,
go
and your
through
mama.
something.
Huh?
And you
gotta
know
go
what
through
else
something.
it is?
Yeah,
though?
you have to go through something.
I think too, tell a woman the truth and let her truly see who you are.
Right.
That's how you know if anyone loves you. When you can see me for the person that I am,
Maybe
and my
not
worth.
cheat. Maybe if I like lose my legs.
Maybe if you
Or
lose your
something.
money and you broke.
Or
Maybe
I
if you
lose-
ask
if I
her, maybe
lose-
if you call her and say, babe, I don't got it this month. Can you help me pay my bills? How about that? Like, you know,
Why
not
is he
everything
so
has to be
damn
attached to
wild,
it.
though?
I mean, if she can't afford it,
She out of here.
So, you know what's
Damn.
interesting that I hear that often from men who are extremely successful? Is that a concern of yours? Like, do you feel like everyone around you just wants to be around you because of who you are, because you have money, because you have status?
Yeah. That's the feeling.
Does that bother
Yeah, and that's a legit feeling.
I think you just grow in it, and you just like.
For a man in Paul's position, that feeling he has is a very legitimate feeling. Now there are some women that would try to downplay on how Paul would feel and whatever. But again, for Paul to have this feeling is very legit. Let's continue.
Damn, you always keep you just always feel like you're looking over your shoulder. You always, it messes with your trust.
Right.
You know, and it's like, damn, you might be sitting there one day and just be like, man, you know, I'm ready to be off.
But you know what, though? I like what you said. You gave a great example. Be honest and see what she does with your honesty, right? Because you got to, for real love, lasting love, if you want to go to the end of time, if that's the position that you're at, you want her to know who you are. You can't act every single day. You can act in the beginning. Everybody shows up as an actor for like the first 30, 60 days. But eventually, you got to take the wig off. You got to take the makeup off. It gets real. Is that person still going to love you? So what I would say, a person in your position, be vulnerable and see what happens with it. I mean, it's going to be a risk. But I think anyone that you could be completely honest with, and if they accept you for who you are, okay, that's step number one. Or if they say, you know what, I respect that you need other women, but I'm not about that life. So I'm going to go. And if I'm available when you come back, so be it. But I'm not tripping. I'm not going to be on your list because you Paul Pierce. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you like me, that means other men like me. So you just better hope while you're playing, I'm available when you're done. You know?
100%. And like you said,
You said, or sorry.
Go ahead.
You said, be honest. What about tell a lie and see how they react?
why?
Well, how would she know? What's the lie, though?
No,
Okay.
say, all right, listen, she said, be honest, be vulnerable,
Right.
right? But what if you tell a lie, so I don't go out and cheat, but
Okay.
then I just go and tell her I cheated on her?
Well,
Tell a lie about it, and
Right.
just to see, boom, how she react.
I
Boom,
think, no, okay, that could be a test, and men do that at
That is the
times.
stupidest thing. You're creating distrust in your relationship for no reason. You are creating tests that don't need to be created. Like I said, God will create tests for you in a relationship. Your representative can only stay within the relationship for the first 3 months. After that, your representative and who you're pretending to be and trying to show up as the perfect woman or man is going to go away. And people are going to have to start seeing you for who you are. And
Facts.
understand, you might be Paul Pierce, but sometimes for women, being with a celebrity is very difficult. It takes away a lot from them,
True.
you know, and who they are as a person. And you're at the forefront of the life. And as a woman, that can be difficult. So there is a lot of tests, especially being with a man of your stature, that a woman probably has to face. Why are you trying to create distrust in a rating that you don't need to do?
No, I'm trying to create trust.
No, by
I'm
lying.
trying
So
to
you're
create
being
trust on my
selfish.
end.
You're creating something for you, but
Right.
you're causing chaos for the other person.
right.
So
You're
you're
right.
being selfish and you're not reciprocating what you want. How does she trust you? You're a celebrity with money. Women are throwing themselves at you all day. So you're so worried about creating trust for you that you're taking it away from your relationship. And it's just silly.
Well, let me jump in.
Go ahead.
I can see you're very passionate, and I see both perspectives. Not to defend him, but to explain it.
Yeah.
He's when you are, first of all, you're part of the 1%. So his life is the 1%. When you're a basketball player, women are constantly coming up to you all his life. Like, you probably was a basketball player in high school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So before I go any further, let me ask you this question. How do you respect a woman that will be okay with you cheating?
No, I don't respect a woman that would be okay with me cheating.
Okay, so that's the point. And that's why I understand why he wants to do the test, because in his mindset, which I appreciate, he wants to see, okay, if I tell her I'm sleeping with other women and she does nothing, I know clearly she wants to be with me because what I can provide. But if I tell her and she's out, like, nah, I know who you are, I respect who you are, but I respect myself more than I respect who you are. I gotta keep it moving. So you're right, it's not a good lie, but he's just trying to weed out all the women, because there's so many women who will not give a fuck.
Well, you're wrong at what you're saying, because he's actually trying to say that if you cheat and stay, you love me.
No, he didn't say that.
He said that on his clip. That's verbatim what he said.
Okay, then he's flipping up. Right now, he just said okay, that's two different answers, because you told me if she cheats and she accepts it, you wouldn't respect her.
He's contradicting himself.
Okay, so which one is the truth? It's truth after dark. Which one is the truth? Because you gotta because now I gotta go back and defend her, because that's two different answers. So what is the honest truth? Would you respect a woman if you cheated and she stayed with you, or would you respect her more if she left you? Respect her more if she left you?
Ooh,
I love her.
No, that's a good question. No, I don't. Would I respect her? Wait, say that again.
Okay, so you cheat on her,
Okay.
you tell her,
Okay,
and
so-
she's like, you know what, don't let it happen again, and forgives you easily.
Okay.
Or you cheat on her, you tell her, and she's like, I'm out. Like, that was not our agreement. I already told you what I was on, and she leaves. Which one?
I'd rather be out.
You'd rather her be out?
Yeah, because now let me it's how she go out though. If she go out the door, it's a certain way you got to go out the door.
How you gotta go out the door?
That is crazy.
What does he mean? How you go out the door, Bob?
You gotta be tears. You gotta be mad and sad. You can't.
Oh, she has to cry.
So what happened to your clip that's going viral today on Hollywood Unlock All the Blogs, where you said, in order to see if a woman loves you, you have to cheat on her, and if she stays, she loves you. So where is that coming in with this whole scenario? Because it doesn't really make sense now.
Well, it's gonna be a breakup and a get back.
Okay. So you want to make a woman struggle for love, basically.
What?
How else a woman gonna go through it?
Well,
Being a woman, having a
how she
vagina,
gonna go
bleeding
through it
from
with
your
somebody?
period every
I know people don't like to talk about this, but there's a lot of long-term relationships that have gone through infidelity and survived.
Yeah.
So cheating is really not a foreign thing for a long-term relationship. I think it's
Cheating. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Cheating is not a foreign thing. Cheating is a choice, just like staying with a person or not after they cheat on you is a choice. It's a choice.
the unfortunate thing about social media, all you see is the highlight moment. So everybody just wants, oh, she got a car for her birthday, and now they're going to Spain. You don't know, like, he had a baby, and she stayed with him through the baby, and she loved the baby, and he saw that, you know what, she stayed with me 10 toes down, so now I'm going to give her the world. Not saying that it always has to be that, but sometimes that's behind a woman getting the world, that she went through so much shit that now he's like, I'm going to give you the world, because the fact that you stay with me during all of this is what makes you remarkable. And I know that your loyalty, not...
And why do these women always have to go to the extreme? They either go from the low end of the extreme or the high end of the extreme. It's nowhere in the middle. They always go to either the low side of the extreme or the high side of the extreme. Let's continue.
I'm not saying I condone this, but I will say this. No. But what I'm gonna say, for a man of a Paul Pierce, I think women have to wake up. That could come with the requirements, because again, we're talking about the internet acts like every man has it their way with women. No, it's about 5% of men that have it their way with women. Most men have to work for women. I get good quality guys who just are not tall enough, who just don't have enough money, who just might not be attractive, or might have a what some might call a normal life. Like, listen, I make 65K.
So, Kendra, you tell me you want the 666 male, the 6 feet tall, 6 figures, 6-inch eggplant. Is that what you're telling us, Kendra? Let's continue.
Hey, I got my own home. I'm ready for a family. That's not always good enough, for women these days, right? No judgment, but it is what it is. So then when you get a guy who fits everything you want, got the money, got the height, got the relationships, unfortunately, there's 10,000 women. And until he gets to a point where he's like, okay, I'm really ready for something solid, that's why I always tell that woman, just be solid. It's going to go in your favor one or two ways. Either A, he's not ready for it, so don't waste your time, no love lost, or you're solid and he recognizes it and now he's ready to step up to be the man that you deserve. But either way, you gotta be willing to bet on yourself. You can't, if you, this whole thing with the man is the prize, I always say the woman's the prize, but I gotta defend men that women are treating men like the prize because they're chasing them, they're accepting any single thing. There's the standards are so low, and now, dating, that playbook our grandparents have, throw that shit out the way. Like, your grandmother just had to be the baddest woman in her city. There was no social media. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times she didn't even have a job. When marriage was high, your husband was your job. Yeah. So even if you wanted to leave, you didn't leave, right? Where was you going to go? You can't afford a house. You have all these kids. Exactly. You're not doing that. So we have progressed so much. But in our progression, there's so many things that have, decrease the institution of marriage.
I agree.
Yeah.
I want to say two things from what you said, and then I want to ask you another question. So, number one, I agree with what you were saying. I feel like I dream of a world where women don't have to struggle to be loved. There's so much, like even in movies about Black love specifically. No other race has this. About us having to ride and die and struggle to finally be appreciated and accepted. And there's a lot of women who go through that and stay after the cheating, stay after the babies, stay after the infidelity, and then a man will leave them and get with another woman that's not as broken. But you're the one who broke me. So I believe in a love, I believe that everyone is going to have to go through it. I'm a strong believer that we're never going to have a perfect love. We are two different people, and we're going to go through a lot of tests in relationships, and I want to be with someone who chooses me and I choose you. But if we're not having discipline in our relationship, if we're not being the person that we want to show up in our lives, and we can't be good for ourselves, and you can only meet someone as far as you love yourself.
I was going to say that. No one has to struggle for love because love starts with you.
Yeah.
You only got to struggle with love when you put it in somebody else's hands.
Very
See, what's
true.
happening right now is people are attaching their relationship status to their worth. It's two totally different things. You cannot predicate what somebody thinks of you to give you your love. You are loved. God gave that to you when you came out your mama's vagina. Like, that is your God-given gift. You can love yourself. No one has to struggle for love. You're only struggling for love when you have decided to put it in somebody else's hands. And if you stop doing that, and if you love yourself really from the start of it, then everybody else is going to love you the way you love you.
I love that.
So that world can exist, but you just can't wait for somebody else to give it to you.
I love that. And then the second thing I was going to say was, I also believe, too, that what you were saying about like a man, women want men that are 6 feet, that have this, that have that. And a lot of that is very worldly, materialistic things, which is true.
Right.
Most women are like, I won't date a man that's not this or not that. And I think that women in general the man that might love us the best is not in the package that we think it would come in. My sister and my best friend are with short men, and they are in love. My sister's been married for almost 30 years, and my sister's 5'11", and she was like, I would never be with a short man. And that short man gave her the best love ever, right?
Yes.
And I feel the same way. Like, for me, this person might have a stature, might be a celebrity, might be all of this. We're putting too much weight on those things. I'd rather be with a man who's 5'8" and is going to love me down. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we put value on because he's this or because he made this amount of money, we'll let him treat us any type of way. And I think women have to have way more respect for themselves. I don't care who you are. I care who you really are inside. Right. I don't care about the outside of what you represent. I want to know who you are as a person. And I think if women, we really got into that more, we would be in a better place.
No, I love it. You know, I think that's a lot of wives feel that way. Like, literally, like, I talk to women who are wives, and I always tell people to get you married friends, right? So, a lot of times when a man marries a woman, he feels safe for the most part. Yeah, this doesn't always happen because there's women who cheat too. Yeah. We focus on men, but women do cheat too. Absolutely. But for the most part, when a man is willing to label you as his wife, he feels safe that you could be in any room and you're not going to disrespect him with another guy. So if a man doesn't feel like, listen, you represent me, and I know Bill Gates might come in this room, but I know you down for me.
The hell you talking about Bill Gates? The hell?
But the only way you prove that to that man is if you show him that standard while you're dating him. Because if you let all things go, you know, to the wayside, then he's gonna know, okay, if my richer friend comes around, she gonna go. If my finer friend comes around, she gonna go. But if you really show him that, nah, I'm not going because that's not who I am, my character. Now, also, he might be on one, right? He might be like, that's not, I mean, I appreciate who you are, but I'm trying to play. Like, you too serious for me. I want to be out here in these streets. You got to be okay with that. Women got to be okay with that because you're not going to get what you want in the long term anyways.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a little bit about what you have going on.
Yeah.
Because I think it's great that you're bringing people together, bringing couples, because we're in a times to where there's more singles than ever. People are not getting married anymore for some reason.
I know all the reasons. Please share.
I can name one reason why women not getting married. For one, it's the women with a boss chick attitude. 2, a lot of women are delusional. And 3, a lot of women got too much damn baggage. I said what I said. Let's keep going.
How did you originally start your online dating?
So, you know, I was doing what you guys did, you know, but before it was podcast, it was radio. So, you know, I've done radio and television for 20 years. We were in COVID, and I was in a relationship, and me and my then boyfriend broke up during COVID. And this is like March. So this is pre-mask. This is like, you can't go to your mama's house. We're still trying to figure out what the world is. Whoever you was with on Monday, you can only quarantine with them. You know, the radio station was shut down. So I was stuck. I was living in Chicago in my Chicago apartment, and everybody was connecting on Instagram Live. D Nice, if y'all remember, had us on DJ, and he was doing Instagram Live music. So I was like, okay, if I feel this way single, I'm quite sure other people feel this way single. So literally, I just went live on IG. I was like, listen, if you single, I'm going to find you love tonight. It wasn't necessarily a show at that time, but because I came from media, the first night I had a white guy who only wanted a black woman. I had a gay guy who was looking for a girl to have a baby with, but he only wanted a baby. I had another guy who I was like, how many kids you have? He was like 2 and a possible. So basically a girl's pregnant. And this is the first night. And I knew, if I take this serious, I will change my whole life. And I literally just, you know, I took it serious. This is 2020. And then 3 years ago.
Translation. Joe tonight she realized she could capitalize on a ghetto shit in the black community and get rich off of it, which is what she has done for the last 5 years. Let's continue.
Well, 3 years later, 2023, I was able to walk away from my 20-plus radio career.
Wow.
Quit my job in Chicago, moved to Beverly Hills, California, started my own company. Wow. Now I have my own dating app. We have the card game. Like, it you know, love is a business that will never end until AI humans. We got AI humans coming, but I think we got like 50 years away. But people will absolutely going to be in relationships with AI humans.
We talked about that. He said he would have an AI companion.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, once we figure out, it's going to be like, you're going to, sperm banks will become very popular. So you will go to a sperm bank to pick out your child. I don't know how men are going to do it, because men will still need to have a woman to bring their child into this world. But people, like you said, they're getting, see what happens going back to marriages. The things that made marriage strong, it wasn't that there wasn't stuff always going on. There wasn't a social media blast. Like, your grandfather was cheating on your grandmother. Here's the thing. The side chick didn't have a Facebook page.
How did we go from you moving to Beverly Hills to grandma and grandpa's side chick? What the fuck?
Right? So the side chick couldn't post the dinner that she made for your grandfather after Thanksgiving, so your grandmother didn't have to deal with the embarrassments. Because a lot of times, a lot of women probably will compromise if the embarrassment factor wasn't so large. And we saw this with Mariah the Scientist. Like, she went as far as she could go, and they might be back together, but it was the embarrassment that she kept going with, everything coming out on the internet. So how do you sit as a woman that has any worth when everyone knows your man has another family, sleeping with another woman? Like, it's very hard for a woman to accept that, right? So we got that factor going on, and then now women have money. So there was a time when women, even if she wanted to leave, she couldn't afford to leave, right? So now she can leave, and now also society accepts women without being a man and having children. I was thinking about this. I'm gonna keep talking. Remember when Brandy had a baby? Brandy had to say she was married first. She could not be like, I'm pregnant. When she was pregnant, because Brandy and Monica, I can't wait for the tour. I grew up with them. And I remember when Brandy was pregnant, she had to be married.
I remember that.
And I love all these women, interviewed all of them. Cardi B, who I love down, is currently pregnant while she's going through a divorce with another guy. Look how far, the acceptability has just...
That's not acceptability. That is us as a community accepting ratchet bullshit. That there is just ratchet as all hell. Back in the day, we didn't accept that shit. But unfortunately, in today's time, the lack of shame made that possible for us to be so desensitized to what Cardi B and Stephon Diggs are doing by bringing a child into the world when she is legally still married to Offset, aka her husband. It makes no damn sense. Let's continue.
Right? And women, her career is not over. If anything, some will say her career is excelling because it seems like people can relate more, right? So when we lose those standards around those real important things, of course, marriages are going to decrease.
Do you believe Paul has a clip that says marriage is for old people and poor people?
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know about old, but I will say poor. And let me tell you why. And I don't like the word poor, but I will say this. I understand as a woman who, if I was a man, people would encourage me not to get married.
Yeah.
Because they would say, you invested in your own company, you did the work, he wasn't there shooting with you in the gym. You know the famous line, like, guys, like, she wasn't there. So it's almost like men who make a certain amount of money, other men will say, why would you get married? Like, just have fun. Because of the business aspect.
Yeah.
You cannot deny that there are people who, when you're in a certain tax bracket, marriage is about business more than it's about love. Because I could love you down. I could want to be with you forever. But do I want to align my assets to you? Have you passed that test of, if I'm in a coma and you got to make the life decision? Now my mother can't make the decision because I made you my wife. And are you going to say, well, let him die because I get 20 million? Like, there's just So I do understand when a person has a certain amount of business, why marriage doesn't go so fast. Like Oprah never got married. 50 Cent probably will never get married. I actually understand that.
Yeah.
You know, and then you said old people. Are you saying because, and I think I saw this clip, because when you get older, you want a nurse and you want all
You don't want to die alone. You're
You
lonely.
want some
Yeah.
companionship.
Right,
I
right,
truly believe that, like, when you're older, that person keeps you alive a lot longer
Okay.
than you would have probably stayed if you was by yourself.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. We can add that, but there are some men and women who truly do still believe in the family unit. So there is a younger generation that is like, I want to have children with my husband. There's also men, and these are the men that I get that call on my show that are serious about marriage. They're the men who are serious about creating a family and a legacy unit together. So I don't want to negate that. That does still exist. And, you know, they're looking for a partner in life. So we'll add young people to Paul to it.
That's true, because there's a village, and like my family, my sister, her husband, like we talk about village politics. Like, this is my village, this is who we got, the world, and then we together. Like, you have your village, and I feel like a lot of people value that. That's why I value being with someone, is because it's like I want my village. You know, I want to know. Okay, so how many people from your show have you hooked up and gotten married?
So married, there's about 15. And it's so funny. Yeah, it's about 15 now. I thought it was 13, but it keeps increasing. So I was just in Houston. We're on tour. And there was a guy that was on my show. What I love about we're in year 5. So year 5, we've been getting the first year somebody got married. Like within the first year. Yeah. So I started the show. I went live in April 2020. May 2nd, 2020, a guy came on my show. He met a girl. They ended up getting engaged that year, and they got married 2021, May 2nd. So they got married to the day that he came on the show for the first time. So they're the first couple, Evan and Joanne. They now have 2 kids. Yeah, they had a baby in 2021. They just had another baby this year. So I just went to Houston. That's what I was saying. I had a guy on my show in 2023, and he showed up in Houston with his fiance. They have a baby. They have a 3-month-old.
Oh.
What's so interesting, what's so great about my show, it's the only dating app that allows you to meet anybody in the world. So everybody I'm talking about, and they will tell you, I would have never met her if it wasn't for your show. Because Evans and Joanna, the first couple, Evans was in Miami, Joanna was in Charlotte. You know, the couple that I just talked about, they actually were in Houston, but they both were in Virginia Beach. So that worked out. They were 2 that actually, he came on the show and she saw it, but they were in the same city. One of the favorite stories is Amisha, Dr. Sutton. Literally, she was a TV reporter in Indianapolis. Her husband is a surgeon in New York.
Wow.
And that's why I said, like, and I was thinking of then when I thought about, there are people who do seriously take the marriage unit serious, right? And maybe, and I would say this, ladies, if his parents are married, are your parents married, Paul? And maybe, and I would say this, ladies, if his parents are married, are your parents married, Paul?
No, my parents are no longer
Okay.
alive.
Are they no longer alive? Okay. Well, they my mother's in heaven, so they probably having a good time right now at a Whitney Houston concert, Michael Jackson, heaven popping. Like, I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. Heaven is going on up there. But there are people, and I would tell women, you know, if you want to have kids, there's a lot of men that take that serious. Like, I want to be with the woman that's going to have my kids. I'm not leaving her. And I brought that up to ask you, sometimes they come from married households.
Yeah.
A lot of the men that I see that are married, their dads were married. So they had an example of that, and that's very important to them. So that's a good, like, they're used to that union.
So, like, my parents are married still. You know,
Yeah.
and all
So
my
that's
sisters
important
are
to you.
married. 5 sisters.
Yeah. You don't have an issue. It's a good thing. You're beautiful.
Thank
So we'll
you.
start there. You're talented, you're smart, you're educated. So a man just has to be ready for you.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna have to rise to the occasion, which he should.
Yeah, thank you.
Which
I
you should.
appreciate
Which
that.
you should.
So you're really good at what you do, obviously. So if anyone's single, y'all better hit Kendra up, baby.
Well,
Because she,
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What's your relationship?
Okay, so I'm single. I was in a relationship. I've been single for about a year.
Okay.
And
Girl, you've been single ever since Asherfoot, Hotel and Ran, after he scams your ass. And the only reason you're attracted to Ashley Foot is because, quite frankly, you couldn't do no damn better than Ashley Foot. Tell the truth, and the devil. Now, with that being said, that you got scammed and whatever, let's go back to Kevin Samuels in the interview you did with him. You said in that interview that you were quote unquote single by choice. How are you single by choice at 41 at the time and had froze your eggs? Here's my opinion on the freezing of the eggs. The freezing of the eggs to me is when a woman wants to throw in the towel, but she really don't want to throw in the towel because if she throws in the towel, she's gonna realize that on the dating market, she is nothing more than a complete failure. That's basically what the freezing of the eggs is. With that being said, let's get back into this bullshit.
I'm single. I was in a relationship. I've been single for about a year.
Okay.
And I love that I'm single right now because I think that women have to realize that, listen, you can be happy single. Like there's some men who are so happy single. This is why they don't want to get in relationships. And I think that when you focus on just always your relationship status determines your happiness, you're not going to be happy. So, what people got to understand, like I just said, I just moved to LA 2 years ago. So I'm a girl that for my career, every 4 years, I pretty much moved. I think I'm home now. I think.
She loves LA.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
love
know,
you
like,
here.
but Dubai out there. Dubai look like it's my kind of place.
I just saw Lindsay Lohan said she lives in.
The hell you gonna mention Dubai for? You're barely able to afford LA. From what I've been seeing, yes, you're in Beverly Hills, but you're barely able to afford it.
Bye.
I wonder what she's doing over there.
She said, well, she's married.
Oh man, Paul was slick as fuck with that one. Talking about, I wonder what they doing over there. Paul was slick as fuck for that shit. Damn, Paul was slick as hell with that shit. Let's get back into it.
Married, and she said they can't take pictures
Right.
of you. Like when you're in the restaurant, it's illegal to take pictures of people. You have to ask them for
No, I've
permission.
been over there.
That's what she was just saying.
I'm on
Yeah,
Instagram. I'm
show
taking
or
photos.
something.
I was there. So.
Okay, so wait a minute. You are single. Do you feel like people weaponize that a lot? Because for
Absolutely.
me, I feel like, well, why are you single then? Or why are you da-da-da? And it's like, maybe because I like my peace and I understand who I am as a woman and I prefer.
Wrong answer. Your attitude and your demeanor keeps you single. That is it. That is all.
My solitude, and if you're gonna take some of that space, you must be a hell of a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how I thought when I was single. You know?
Right.
So what? Like, do you feel like people are like, why are you single if you have this show and da 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 da?
They weaponize women.
Yes, women.
They don't weaponize men.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I was a man, men will encourage me not to get married. They will say,
Yes.
you work this hard, you focus on your career, you invested I invested my own money in.
Yeah.
That is not what men would tell you, Kendra. Men will look at your age and say to you, why did you not get married approximately 15 years earlier when you still had a chance? And that's what men would tell you. You are 47, which means, ooh, wait a minute, no. 47, let me change that. You should have got married 17 years earlier when you were 30 instead of you talking about I'm in my single season at 47 years old. Ma'am, your kitty cat is geriatric, okay? Let's keep it a buck.
Money into my company, they'll be like, why would you let a woman benefit off of all your hard work? What happens is we're in a time where I do believe that there's some men that only respect a woman by the man she's next to, right? So, and there is, that's what it's about. So it's like, who's the man I gotta answer to if I mess with you? And if there's not a man standing there, well, why not? And there's also some type of, I don't want to say control, but there are some men who like to know, like, okay, I have my wife. There's a control aspect. So they're also like, well, why aren't you married? Like, could you not follow instructions? Were you not, did you not forgive too easy? I will say this. There's women who are married to men in jail. And if you feel like she is a better, if
how the hell does that even correlate to anything? I swear.
you feel like because she's married and has a husband, you can take her advice. Like, I'm not the kind of person that's like, you have to live by what I live by. I'm telling you what I know, right? At the end of the day. And there's married people who I would not take advice from. And we have to stop this illusion that marriage is this sun and roses and everybody's happy. You know, I have a therapist who literally told me that a lot of her clientels are wives who are trying to make it through their marriage because they're not happy. Woo! Not saying this is every wife, okay? But I think that most women want the wedding day, they want the ring, they want the bragging rights, they want the Instagram post. But do they really want the wife job description? Now, the wife job description, I believe in it so much, that's why I won't do it. I was engaged, and that's what, before all this, very early in my career, I was engaged. I was in my 20s for my college sweetheart. And the one thing we decided is we would never get divorced. And
engaged but never married. Pay attention to that, y'all. She was engaged but never married.
I really think people should make that decision before you get married because it's like, listen, if we do this, it's me and you till we see Jesus. And there wasn't an infidelity. I realized we had different life plans. And most women usually just kind of follow the man. Nothing wrong with that, right? And at that time, it would have made sense. He was an electrical engineer. I'm a radio host making $7 an hour. I would probably be fired in I would get, you get fired all the time in radio. I have no job security. So girl, you got this man, tall, dark, handsome, marry him, have babies, and run off to the sunset. And I couldn't make that bet because I had so much inside of me. I had to take a risk on becoming who Kendra can become. And that's 20 years ago. And as I say, I always tell my age because I want people to know my life is a journey. I'm 46 years old. If I would know that you make that deal and you decide to go for your career, and at 46, you still wouldn't be married, you still wouldn't have kids, would you make that same bet? Absolutely. Because I had to choose myself. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be married and just say I'm married. If I'm married, it's because this is what God's purpose is for me. And I'm riding out with you to the sunset. And I know you're gonna mess up, but I'm here. I'm Coretta Scott King in it. Yeah. And
what?
If I can't Coretta Scott King it, then I'm not gonna do it. You just should.
Yeah. I love that. Is there somebody you're dating right now?
Yes, Paul. I am dating.
Is it more than one?
I am dating. I don't have sex when I date, though.
Bullshit. Talking about it's more than one, but I'm not having sexual intercourse with them. If you don't get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, the fuck out of here.
So let me tell you about dating. This is why I have a dating app, and I encourage every woman to date. I think what happens...
And then gonna try to plug her damn app right after. Oh my God. Bro, what the fuck? Shameless.
Is women don't know how to date. Like this, like men really kind of have, are you cool? Can I sit with you and have a conversation, watch a game and eat some burgers? All right, let's kick it. Women, their prerequisites for dating, and this is why women are having so many challenges, because they don't know how to date. Girlfriend, if a guy wants to take you out for pizza, go out for pizza. Learn them. Dating is data. You're collecting data because you might think you want something on paper, but when you get it, because I've had a lot of things that I wanted on paper, and then I got it, and I was like, oh, I'm not about this life. Like you said, men like Paul come with a lie. I'm here to tell you, I'm not about that life. Yeah. I'm not about that life. So now I'm dating. Marriage is not important to me. But I'm dating, you know? I think
my thing is too, like, how do I buy a car without test driving it?
That's fair for you. So I'm not saying
because you said you don't have sex while dating.
No, I'm not having sex without a relationship. So I'm not saying marriage.
Relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we want to have intimacy, so it's just me and you. We exclusive, right?
Me too.
How long before you know? How many dates?
How many dates?
Like how many dates can a dude get off before you like, all right, this ain't gonna happen, or it's maybe something?
I think.
I don't know if anyone's paying attention, but Paul is asking this question, but a lot of people don't realize this question is basically Paul Pierce trying to shit test Kendra. I just hope that y'all can catch on to what Paul Pierce is doing here. Let's keep going.
I think that here's the deal, and I'm gonna get so technical, and y'all gonna get mad. Listen, we can't forget like STDs exist, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you should be. It's very fine to be like, yo, I need to really get to know you more.
Yes.
You know, like, and yes, like I should have a physical attraction to you, but again, I shouldn't want to just jump in the bed with you because I want to make sure I'm safe too. Like, you know, if I don't want to get pregnant just to get pregnant if we're not going to do something long term. And let me tell you why I have that rule. So I was engaged, and when I broke up with my ex-fiance, I ended up many years ago dating an athlete, and we wasn't in a relationship. And I learned that he was dating somebody else, and I went off. And he said to me, "But you're not my girlfriend." And I was like, but you know what? I had to woman up. And I was like, I'll never make that mistake again. Because here's the deal. When you have sex with a guy that's not your man, you can't check him. Yep. Because you agreed to participate in a sexual activity without that title if it's not important to you. Now, there's some women who are like, men are emotionless. I wanted to have a good time. It felt good with me. I don't care if I never talk to him again. If that's you, listen, there's no judgment. But if you know you are a girl that's gonna catch feelings, if it gets physical, you need to get that title first. And you're getting that title so when he acts up or acts out of line, you have the right to say something. You have no right to check a man if you're in a situationship and he has not agreed to be exclusive to you. And it's very much, listen, there are some women that have the until I get married rule. Yeah. But let me tell you something, ladies. It's very much okay to say, it's very much okay to say, I only have sex if we're in an exclusive relationship. Yeah. Like, that's a fair rule.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's that's fair.
But I'm just saying, this is something that's recent. I mean,
right.
Like, as we get older, we start saying, like, you know what, that's what it is. You'll start laying down the law a little bit more. But, like, how long has it been like this? Like, where you're saying...
No, I learned that lesson. I'm about 16 years ago, I learned that lesson, right? Yeah, okay. So I think that all the things that... What normally gets a woman to just say, okay, I'm going to break the rules. And this is what I've learned, too. And this is another thing that women mess up with. They have certain rules for certain guys, right? First of all, it depends on what you want, right? Yeah. So if you want a weekend fling, if you want to just have fun, then girlfriend, do you. But you got to learn your pool of men, because there's men that will have a situationship with you. And then there's men that may make you his girlfriend. And there's a man that will marry you. Yeah. If you know you want to be a wife, you got to at least close the deal on girlfriend. If you can't get a guy to commit to make you his girlfriend, it's gonna be hard for you to get to wife. And what happens is sometimes the situationship guy is he's a sensational guy. He looks good because you're breaking the rules for him. So he got the money. He looks good. There's something about him that you're gonna break your rule that you would have for an ugly man. And I've said this a couple of times, but you gotta treat every guy like he's ugly. Like, don't bend the rules. Like, keep your standard if you want to get married, right? All the women that have gotten married, no, their standard was their standard, and they married the best option of the man that was willing to marry them. It's two different options. There's a man that will marry you, and then there's a situationship guy. And the situationship guy could be so dangerous because he could make it almost hard for you to appreciate the guy that would marry you. Because the guy that may marry you, maybe the sex isn't as good. Maybe he don't have as much money. Maybe the life he could provide might not be as exciting. But you're constantly comparing this situationship guy, who never made you his girlfriend, who's not going to spend a holiday with you. So now your appetite, because you tasted, now like you had like this amazing, seasoned chicken, and now you got this other chicken. It's okay, but it's something you can rely on. It don't get your taste buds. So don't bite the apple, Eve.
Okay, so you said
Yes.
you don't have sex unless you're in a relationship.
Yes.
You haven't been in a relationship for a year, you said.
Yes, a year. That's not hard. Paul, I wrote a book called Abstinence is Cool, where I went years without having sex.
I've done that. I did a whole year.
It's not hard for a woman not to have sex.
Yeah,
and I know
it's different for women. Yeah.
Like you said, it's different for women.
It's different for women. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I get women on my show that be like, I have to have sex.
But I'm just gonna say it like this here. Everybody wants to fuck. Okay? Everybody wants to fuck. Okay? Now, some people may want it more than others. Some people may want it less. But again, people want to fuck. Okay?
In 5 or 10 years. Now that could be a dangerous place. You don't want to go so long because at some point in time you don't want to let yourself go, right? Like, but it is not. I know we're in this time where it seems like everybody is busted it open,
Overly sexual,
but there's so many women who are like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And you're not worried about things like today. I always say that there's no casual sex, in my opinion.
Okay.
Nothing about sex is casual because as a woman, you risk so many things having sex. As a man, like STDs, people don't talk about STDs. I'm like, damn, people get all type of stuff. So I feel like casual sex isn't a thing for me. So I can go like a cool minute if I have to.
Yeah.
As a woman, I might be probably real different for a man,
So, okay, how long can you go without sex, Paul?
We know you want to create a top-tier podcast. Clear, engaging, and truly captivating. And to make that happen...
Can you go without sex, Paul?
Man. I mean, I'm older. So it ain't really like,
Okay.
something that I gotta just chase.
So what's the answer?
How long?
I love Kendra.
I mean, I don't know. A month or two, maybe?
So 60 days?
I mean, I could probably go longer than that. You understand, like, I was so locked in as a sports player.
Right.
That I was like, so just like, I could just block that out. I could just be, I'm gonna work out, do this. I was on a program. So I was just like, you know what, I ain't messing with no girls for like 3 months. I'm gonna lock in, go to the gym.
Right.
See, and that's the thing that some of these people don't get about athletes. One thing about athletes is that when they set their eyes on a goal, they ain't gonna let themselves become distracted from it no matter what. And the thing is with Paul, I think that's why he's so good with his podcast, cause he's kind of like zeroed in on his podcast. Cause I think he had 72. Check the podcast is 66.9K, which it should be probably before the end of this year. He'll probably hit 70K before the end of the year on the projection, whatever.
A program. So I was just like, you know what? I ain't messing with no girls for like 3 months. I'm gonna lock in, go to the gym,
Right.
get my rest, go back to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to programming my mind like that, and that's why I became one of the best.
So
Because
how
I
come
could-
you can't feel a woman could do the same?
I just feel like, damn, women are thirsty. Like
Wow.
they
Those are the
just
women
like,
you-
women is thirsty. Maybe it's just because of my environment.
Yes, it's your
You know what I'm saying?
environment.
But like, what's my environment? It's just like everybody else's environment. What? I'm going to the restaurant. I'm going to the grocery store. It's not even my environment. It's what probably I'm attracted.
Yes.
And
You know
it's
what
who
I'm
you
saying?
are. Your environment is not the same
It ain't-
as Joe. When Joe goes to the grocery store, women are not thirsty trying to be on him. He's going to the store and he probably don't see not one woman approach him, look at him, or want him. It's a whole different. You're Paul Pierce. You're a celebrity. And they know that. Women automatically want you because of that.
Yeah,
No
for
matter
sure.
what, they know you
Yeah,
have
for
money.
sure.
They know that you could be ugly as long as you're a famous rich man,
Yeah.
and you don't even have to be famous.
Yeah.
You could just be rich. You got women on you
Yeah.
if they know that.
Yeah.
So that's different for you. You see thirsty women. A lot of men
Yeah,
don't
that's-
have that
yeah,
experience
you're right.
at all. Like
You're
they
right.
don't. feel that.
95% of men, and I'm being generous, don't have that experience.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
not,
that's
yeah.
not.
I mean, you're like, your world is your real world,
Yeah.
so there's no apologies for it. But the people in your world, they don't have an average life. Most men have to work to get a woman.
Yeah. And they have to be nervous to come. But what I will say about men in that, women have to understand too, like, yes, a man, like if you're with a man like that, he may get a lot of women on them, but what type of women are they? Because that woman right there is just wants you because of who you are and what you have. This woman right here might really want you because they love you. Like there's a difference between quality, like options these days. I feel like men feel like they have a plethora of options because of Instagram, because of this. But in reality, where is the quality at?
But can I say something to that? And you're right.
Hold on, nope.
So what I've learned is
Nope, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. What it is that Kevin Samuels taught men to become the best version of themselves. And when men become the best version of themselves, their options get expanded because they become the best version of themselves. Meaning they have stepped their game up either in one area of their lives or in all areas of their lives. And with them stepping their game up, more opportunities are open to those men, and they're now exploring their options. Let's get back into this.
law of attraction. If I was to die tomorrow, I would tell everybody, learn law of attraction. Everybody in your life is who you reflect. So if there is a woman who is just thirsty, that's what you desire, because the thirsty, like, that's why I said going back to earlier, like, women have to understand, like, you might have a standard and he might say, I don't want to work that hard. Like, okay, like, I respect you, but at the same time, I want the girl who go and sleep with me and not gonna care. Like, sometimes when people have money, it's easier for them to use their money to get their peace. Like, if she just want money and I don't gotta answer to her and I don't gotta call in and check in, I could do that. Now she wants me for real. I have to rise to the occasion. She wants me to be honest. She wants me to never sleep with anybody else. He has to be ready for that, right? So it's like a lot of times we judge. That's why I don't really like to judge anybody I did it in the past, because whoever I did it in the past, that's who I was at that.
During
We was
that
on the same
time.
level. I have to receive that, right? So whenever you have something in your life that you don't like, don't judge the person. Ask yourself, what's in me that's attracting this person, and let me change that about me, because I want to attract something different.
I literally said that to him on one of our shows. That's really the truth. You
Yeah.
are what you attract. You're on a certain vibrational frequency.
So if I'm just pushing my cart in the grocery store and some little rat come up to me, that's what I am?
Wait,
Like, come on, dog.
What?
Come on.
What the
No,
hell?
no, no.
yes.
Come on, don't say
I'll
that.
girls say
I'm just chilling at the nice bar and I'm chilling at some little
No, it's
busted,
what- no,
little thirsty chick. That's who I am.
Yeah, because let me tell you why. Look at your watch. Look
Wait
at your
a minute.
necklace. You are
Really,
your
Kendra?
presentation is just sitting at the bar is a girl who's like, oh, I can cash out, and this is my opportunity. Like what social media did is girls. It's fine girls.
I love it.
No, for real, I'm gonna give it to you real because there's fine girls. Because now social media got the access, right?
Yeah.
So let's say there's this fine girl in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Not in California. And then she sees a baller with a wife. And she's like, I look better than his wife.
Ooh.
Oh, I just got to get around the right people. So now, and then also back to why you said everybody's single. Nobody's grandma no more. We could, listen, I got on wig, makeup, hair. My body's real, and I take pride in that, okay? But people,
If you say so.
you get in body surgery.
Yeah.
You know, there's Ozempic. You can buy ass. You can take away a waist. You know, all these people. So the average woman, she's too good for her partner because she's no longer average. So now she's like, wait a minute, I look this fine. I deserve to have this on my arm. And the guy who would be her equal, he's not good enough because she's now a whole new woman, right?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why, like, your partner, you are now no longer matched with, right?
Yeah.
So now this is where the men of the pause win. Their options are so wide. Like, it's incredible. Like, I had an event in Houston, and it starts with attraction for women too. And it's always gonna be more women, so it is what it is. But let's say we got 60% women, 40% men. But out of the 40% men, and I'm being generous if I say 2 have all the attributes all of the 60% women win.
Yeah.
Like, they all want it. And it starts with, because he looked good, he's fresh, he's dressed well. And then I'll do an interview and it's like, okay, he got 2 baby mamas, 3 kids, you know, all this other thing. And another guy who wasn't as flashy probably has no kids yet, right? You know, but he can't afford to look as rich. So no, if you anywhere you go, a woman is like, ding, like you're flashing lights.
Yeah.
I get my rent paid. I get, you know, there's women like, I cry over the broke guy. I cry over a rich guy. You know what I'm saying?
I cry in the Rolls Royce instead of the Toyota Royce. Like, I never went for that because my dad is rich. I was dropped off in a Rolls Royce to school. So for me, it's like, I don't care. Like, I look for the man. Can you communicate? Can you be vulnerable? Can we talk about some shit for real? Can we go through something and really get through it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you know how to treat a woman? Like, do you know how to be a husband and not just want a wife?
Right.
Like, these are the things that matter, is like real qualities. My ex is 5'9". Like, I don't give a damn like what your height is. I don't care what, none of that stuff. Like, I want to be with someone for real.
You said, not to cut you off, but experience is the only life teacher, you know, and unfortunately, and I always say this, before I even knew what Cassie and Diddy went through, and I'm not going to go through that, but I will always say, if money mattered, why did Cassie leave a billionaire for a trainer and a white guy? Completely opposite, right?
Yeah.
But what I've come to terms is, sometimes people just got to learn it for themselves. You know, a lot of things that I know is because I learned it for myself.
That's true.
I didn't know what I know at 46. I didn't know at 30. That's why when I dated the athlete and he told me I wasn't his girlfriend, I was like, okay, I got this lesson. Okay, check box.
Yeah.
Never doing that again. But and I always, and like, I know it seems like money is the end all to be all, but if that's the case, why did Juanita Jordan get a divorce from Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why did women who had, you know, why did Dr. Dre's wife eventually leave? You know, they were married to very wealthy men, and it got to a point where they said, you know what? My spiritual being is worth more than what you have in the bank. Why did Shawnee eventually leave Shaq? Right? So, but we can't teach that class. Unfortunately, people just have to go through it themselves, and you have to honor that. And I had to get grace for that, because I'm like, I'm trying to tell you, but I had to realize, you know what? You got to go on your own journey and learn for yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. So before we...
Kendra,
Yes.
I was saying, let's talk about this game you got.
First of all, what is the name of your dating app?
Okay,
and we're
so
going to put it below in the description.
Yeah, so my dating app is Kendra G Single. So it's literally the name of the show. I decided to launch an app because I was like, it's the only app where the show you see on Instagram is actually now inside the app, right?
Okay.
And I really want to change the face of being single, because being single, I would 100% tell a woman to be single and happy opposed to being attached to a man and you're secretly dealing with so much shit that you can't get away from it. But that title is so important to you. But because, like you said earlier, single almost has like the new STD. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, no. We're gonna have a good time. So the card game is who says being single can't be fun, and you can order it right now. So listen, we got 4 shot glasses. If you don't want to answer the question, the way it works, you can play it with guys and girls. So I pre-selected some of the questions that I wanted to ask.
Let's see what this is about. I'm about to get this right here.
Okay, yes, you gotta get it.
Yes, and it comes with the shot glasses.
Yes, it comes with the shot glasses. Okay, I'm gonna go with you first. Okay. Put these in order from most important to least important. Intelligence, looks, money, faithfulness.
I would say faithfulness first.
Faithfulness is first? Okay.
I would say maybe intelligence. Because I can't be with a dumbass person. It would just piss me off.
Okay, so faithfulness, intelligence.
And what was the other two?
Looks and money.
I would say money and then looks.
Okay, so faithfulness. Okay, boy, what about you? I think you're going to say looks first.
All right, so for me,
I don't think he's going to say looks.
Skip on.
But you could be a...
Introducing the X-Tool Apparel Printer. It's the all-in-one solution for your apparel printing.
sometimes be mature about it because I'm.
But you can be as mature as you want. But then there could be a man that's like, hey, I got to talk to you. I have feelings for you. That happens to me all the time.
Well, then you cut that guy off. But I think the disadvantage of women not having genuine male friends is the reason why women can't learn men. Because,
I can see that.
you know, a lot of things I know about men are things that I got taught by men,
Yeah,
right?
I can see that.
And not even necessarily I have to agree with it because I'm a woman.
I was able to take most of this. Even though it's only like maybe give or take maybe 8 to 10 minutes left. I'm just gonna say the hell with it. Unfortunately, we had some trolls at the beginning. I got them the fuck up out of here. It is what it is. There was Kendra G on Paul Pierce's podcast. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.